We're tackling a topic that's been highly requested: how to help with your career success as a beginning medical coder. Not so much the how to code stuff, but the more how to be more well-rounded in the field. I'm Victoria Mull. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, and content creator. And on my channel, I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you be successful in a medical coding career. If you haven't already, highly encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get alerts when I post a new episode. Now, tip number 1. We're going to start with understanding the basics. Understanding the basics is really crucial. Medical coding involves converting healthcare diagnoses, procedures, medical services, equipment, drugs into these universal medical code sets, these alphanumeric codes. It's that language that healthcare providers and insurance companies speak. And becoming fluent in that is your first step, but it's more than just looking up the codes. You need to know things about medical terminology, about insurance, about health law, compliance, even things like your basic computer skills. You need to be comfortable navigating around an electronic health record, and that's going to come with employee training. Unfortunately, because of the nature of electronic health records, you can't learn how to use them unless you're working with a company that has that software program. It's not openly available like Word or Excel or Google Docs. It's something that you have to learn on the job site, kind of like if you were working for McDonald's and you had to learn the McDonald's ordering system. You couldn't just do that independently online. So you want to get down as much as you can from a foundational standpoint, because a lot of those things like Medicare coverage, that's going to come into play later on, and you're going to be glad you have at least that basic understanding while you're trying to learn things like medical record systems. Now, tip number 2 is to make sure that you are getting the right education. You don't need a 4-year degree for a medical coding job. You don't need a 2-year degree for a medical coding job. What you do want is to look for programs that will prepare you through certification for like AAPC or AHIMA, AHIMA. Some programs will offer other certifications included for free, which is cool. But if you want to be employable as a medical coder, you want AAPC or AHIMA. And just because they offer a certain certification as part of that program doesn't mean that it might not prepare you for other certifications. There's programs out there that are just medical billing and coding programs, and they're very widely ranged, and they will prepare you for AAPC, AHIMA, CBCS, all kinds of different stuff. And understand that there's no real accreditation process for AAPC or AHIMA for their medical billing and coding certifications. AHIMA has a couple in consideration if you're going for your RHIT or RHIA, your Registered Health Information Technician or Registered Health Information Management, but those aren't really medical billing and coding certifications. Those are more so for just health information in general. Now, the AAPC has licensed material that they will give to different organizations. So you might see that they're an AAPC approved education institute, but you do not have to go through any specific training program that's approved by AAPC or approved by AHIMA in order to sit for the CPC exam. In fact, technically, you can sit for the CPC or any AAPC exam with no experience or nothing. The actual hard and fast requirement is you become a member and pay for the exam and pass the certification exam. That's it. You're obviously not going to do very well if you don't have appropriate training, though. And if you want to find out more about the training program that I recommend, you can sign up for my free career masterclass at medicalcodingmasterclass.com. If you're ever like, hey, I just want to cut through all this red tape. I don't want to have to watch 50 videos and talk to 60 different people. Just give me the roadmap, Victoria. Like, how do I, as someone who has no healthcare experience, go from like me to job ready as a medical biller and coder in as little as 6 months, and I don't want to go into student loan debt, and I want to do it flexible on my own time online? Like, sign up for the free masterclass, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. And it's going to tell you about Preppy, which is the program that I recommend. It checks off like all of the boxes, and they have such great support for my viewers that sign up. Like, you cannot do better. So yeah, the gold standards in medical billing and coding as far as certifications are the CPC for the AAPC, or if you want to go with AHIMA, the CCS. Now, my third tip is to invest in really good resources. The backbone of your medical coding skills are going to be your code books, right? The ICD-10 CM, CPT, HCPCS, but those are not just everything you need because there's so many changes and so many updates every single year. As sure as the sun rises, there are going to be code updates every single year, sometimes quarterly, sometimes daily. There's major changes, minor changes, latest editions of the manual. And while paper books are nice, ebooks are great, but encoders are actually even better because it gives you like the whole coding arsenal right at your fingertips. A lot of them are available even on your phone. Subscription-based services, Select Coder, AEPC's Codify, Encoder Pro, Find a Code, those can be game changers. And they offer not just the code search, but also coding alerts, coding newsletters, coding tips. Sometimes even CEUs are included in them. So imagine, you have this complex coding scenario and you search it up and you find a code and it links like directly to newsletters and helpful tips. Like that's what these platforms can do. And a lot of them have free trials, so don't be afraid to sign up for a bunch of them and then see which one works the best for you. They're all honestly pretty great. It's just a matter of your personal preference, what you like as far as layout and capabilities. Above and beyond that, let's not forget about the power of professional development, books, online courses. So while your coding manuals are sort of your bread and butter, those online courses can be a fantastic way to brush up on your skills, learn more things, even some of those things like, and we'll talk more about local chapters, but workshops that they're having now and conferences at these local chapters, pretty great. Tip 4 is to practice, practice, practice. With coding, you've not just learned a skill, you are mastering an art and you have to work on developing your skills. So the way that you become better with the art of translating complex medical procedures and diagnoses into that healthcare language is through relentless, dedicated practice. You can start with practice exams, tackling those exams, specifically the ones through the AAPC, because now they look like the actual exams. It does more than help you prepare for the real thing. It actually helps build your confidence and helps identify the areas where you need more focus. And the AAPC has actually been hinting that they're going to develop some additional proficiency applications. Right now we have like Practicode, but we also have specialty Practicodes, but we're going to, I think, go some additional steps there. And if you don't want to spend too much money, check the internet for online quizzes, coding scenarios. There's lots of little free resources that you can find. But the practice in medical coding, it's not just about like the repetition. That's a big part of it, but it's also about exploration, about making mistakes, figuring out where you made the mistakes. So learning, improving. So embrace all that practice with open arms, even if it's things that your instructor maybe didn't assign for you. Give them an extra go, like try them out. Oftentimes, with honing skills, they say it's like riding a bike. You can't forget how to do. I have forgotten how to ride a bike, you guys. I haven't ridden a bike in over 20 years and I can't ride one anywhere. So don't be like me and not use your skills and then forget how to use them. Keep them up in coding and bike riding. Now, tip number 5 is all about networking and connecting. Join your professional organizations through AAPC or AHIMA or whatever organizations you join. Attend their webinars, their workshops, their meetings, their conferences, their networking events. Connect with the seasoned coders because they are the ones that are going to be able to offer you very valuable insights and opportunities. It's about becoming a part of the community and people that you can connect with and that share the same frustrations and goals and have all of that insider knowledge that you can work with. It's not just about taking, though. It's about giving back. So when you are more seasoned in your career, connect with your local chapter then, because they're going to need you to volunteer as an officer, to host a webinar, to host a workshop, to do some leadership opportunities, to help set up at events. Like, networking is not just about what's in it for me. It is this cycle of learning and sharing and growing together as a community. Don't underestimate the power of those online forums, online groups, social media groups. LinkedIn specifically is huge. There's specific Facebook groups that are great. AAPC and AHIMA both have forums, Facebook pages, LinkedIn pages where you can share advice, answer questions, look at job openings. It's networking that's right there readily available. Now, tip number 6 is all about specializing. Specialize for your success. The medical coding field is vast. It's healthcare. We have all kinds of different specialties. Every specialty there is in healthcare exists in medical coding. So find your niche. You can do, if you start in professional fee coding, you can go to inpatient coding, outpatient coding, risk adjustment, which is just ICD-10-CM. And there are certain specialties that pay considerably more, like interventional radiology and cardiology coding, which you can get the CERC credential for. That pays more money because it's pretty complex. If you're interested in seeing if anything that pays more aligns with your particular interests, check the AAPC salary calculator because some of those inputs might give you some better insights about what you want to do with your specialization. Tip number 7 is all about staying informed, staying updated. Make sure that you are getting those alerts from the AAPC, making sure you're following up on healthcare law, coding guidelines, payer policies, subscribe to newsletters. There's a lot of really cool newsletters that people are putting out for free now on LinkedIn. Follow some of the thought leaders that are out there on LinkedIn. Never stop learning. Read the AAPC magazine, subscribe to different podcasts, and there's a lot of different things out there that are coming up. And as you're out there and specializing, focus on some more specialty specific things. If you're working in dermatology, do you really need to sign up for all the cardiology webinars? Do you really need to sign up for all of the GI things? No, kind of focus on your area. Explore others, but focus on what you need to know to be successful in the moment. Now, for tip number 8, it is embrace technology. Familiarize yourself with all the electronic health record systems. Volunteer to learn more about them. Go to additional trainings. Learn about the billing software, the coding tools, all the different aspects, especially if you're in Epic. If you are in a facility where you are working with Epic, get as much Epic training as you can. And if you're not in the field yet, work on things like even just your general office skills, like the Microsoft programs, Outlook, Word, Excel. Those change pretty rapidly anymore, and you can easily access all of the new features and how to use them on YouTube. Tip number 9 is to work on your soft skills, attention to detail, organization, communication. Those sort of things are just as important as your technical abilities. There's a lot of organizations out there that are more willing to train people who already have the skills that they need, that they know that they're adaptable, that they're fast learners, that they have the personality traits that they want. So practice your active listening, practice clear writing, communication, volunteering for team projects. That helps boost your visibility as far as collaboration. Embrace those new technologies, be adaptable. And there's lots of training that you can get for free as an AAPC member for learning some of those different skills, like upholding our ethical standards, how to actively seek feedback, how to participate in professionalism, customer service skills, empathy. So those things are free as your AAPC membership. So take that initiative on your own to learn some of those things, but also if your employer is offering them, take those courses on their coding software, their medical record systems. It's going to really enhance your leadership and your technological proficiency. And finally, tip number 10 is to be patient and be persistent. Starting a career in medical coding is challenging, but with a lot of determination, a lot of hard work, you will succeed. Everyone was a beginner once, and you need to keep that whole enthusiasm throughout your entire career. The exam is not the end goal. It's just another hurdle. You have to keep that momentum going and going and going to be successful in this career. So there you have it, folks, the top 10 tips to kickstart your career in medical coding. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who could use these tips, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. If you have any questions or tips of your own, drop them in the comments below. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video, and keep on coding on.